You happy? Shalom everyone, shalom, I want to welcome everyone to the Miss Bíblia University Precept Mastery Elder Michael Bonson with Tiloche Epof Israel and today we have interesting teaching. I know a lot of people have been writing back and forth to get into this teaching whether we have been copied or not too. Ele people try to teach in the song as I do something they try to teach in it so what we decided to start doing with minding is on silly teach we move te move. Sudoeste as este white at we say to do this say some of them started doing this but then it got a little cup in the middle because we didn't do it for the past 2 weeks. Sudoeste take a map with excuses you can go to some other channels they come with some excuses to wear. They wanted to king of changings but as I said you making sharp public nowhere digest information. Sudoeste and people say the times and that is wanting status bem changed e move. Te people move and tente so it shows where digesting. Information from showing you more Sudoeste there not bang up front and honest with you where going to be going through. Psalm 119 ano ele going through the ash of the letras of the paleo hebreu. To show you exactly what is being said we are being used to to all these features Sudoeste we are going through a lot of this and right now we only let you are going to think about what you let me. I'm thinking about it working also we will be going in the back today we're gonna be going back in the back today because we have people something this past weekend something to think about and something that we need to start approaching when we start dealing with spiritual and parables understanding what they mean Sudoeste we will be commencing with that we're going to be. On in the back hit after this you all set link down in the description if you welcome to come back to where you can say and you may get a chance to participate but we mainly were going to be looking for the participation of the people who was originally back there Sudoeste without saying what is and the things that was pretty much without announcement start I had but we need to look at the one of the let we have to look at the list and you can watch the let me because many people have said that lay a lot of different stories to you events anterior talking about. Titent do and bookings of stuff to each have nothing to do with nothing. Are you with me as jeans were going to think about exactly what it is talking about where? Going to think about exactly Jesus in these letters and spelling what they are. Sudoeste e hábito fim bote atitis e suatite meando it works out and it apresto e achando verio no vas. Ambiente trogure de trei of tentistes este fotone no semas maior fesket me to deixe. Schitterling muel I know we event bem do init said but let me give you my mais planation sudoeste tolder what mais planation as. Antenche said etatis what toltitil as I'm gonna tell you what toltitil as sudoeste I'll share it at you if you my be the back but she's gonna give me your opinion on what toltitil as but she just said okay well tatis what toltitil as okay that's fine. Sudoeste we told her what it was and everything was good but we got to find out. What it is. Leadis we got to find out what is it applies to us sudoeste we are going to read it and we're going to get into it and it says my soul in the lit we're looking at Psalm 119. Verse 25 Sudoeste if you have your Bibles you can look at it yourself and all say most people's Bibles is dilated actually at the top picture you read it and you say delete and you say and it says my soul clavage into do stick candle on me according to thy word. We have to the artist down and think but on understand what your me we know is saying which on it your honor we know. What your meano we can what is saying and we is saying what is saying. Sudoeste is what we got to find out because we have been told many teams that delip me as some news and we just wasn't been told the truth but I want you to start your tintes down and we're going to look at cheesing cheesefulness and the let it means honor and shame and with that. Honor and shame we have to be committed to humbleness fast to kickens. According to his word that so it's honor and shame the let we're going to say what his works. Out sudoeste we're going to go through some scriptures we're going to get the better understanding in the full understanding of the Latin. Say if we admit shame and commit. To God is creators and we need to have honor and respect to him we're going to look at some. Timbser we're going to look at Malachite read next to it read next to it read chapter 1 we're going to look at verse 5 and it says this it says including you shall say. Including ye shall cite Spirit of God will be magnified. Front border of Israel sudoeste from one end of Israel to the other end of Israel all children Israel to Spirit of God shall be magnified and is going to tell you yes honor his father including the servant his master if then. He built Spirit of God if I be father where is my honor. Clear question eu sei it is a question mark Redletter sudoeste it is the what you want to understand and we putting it in. Size and the why David structure it is what it is true we know it is. Tem in the word if be a father tem in the word is his honor. In fact if be a master where is his fear where is his desire sight Spirit of God of hosts. To you prest that despise my name and saying despise my why including inside. No my say what you say no jetting ready to say what you say and you say where have I despised your why. You think about that. You think about that teu you what it is why I think about you that you have done all that you do all that you have done in the past until today I'm very going to sit there and saying you have despised my name but then going to sit there saying Lord very did we do that. When did we do that we were just having barbecues no podito somebody to bring pigs somebody else brought pigs do est where did we despise a name. If you didn't want to pig to the pig wouldn't have did so est evidently you want to are pictures is what you get into. Because the first thing we always do you always put it back on in. And we have to remember exactly who we are exactly let's look at something we're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We're going to pick it up verse 20. Ecclesiastes chapter actually before you go there to out forgot I read Jeremiah because we're going to look at Jeremiah first. In Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 23 it says European change skin can't European change its skin no can't have you ever noticed I'm going to tell you something that they're going to shock a lot of people shouldn't be shocked but it is gonna shock a lot of people somebody never just talked about it have you ever noticed European can eject a people I will take content no can jet burned can jet tem e can jet burned can jet taned so it goes to the same things do est face. Sutinterian de caixas de risquinho so it is telling you something do est ora leopardos spots tem. Also do good that are accustomed to doing review. This is what we accustomed to doing we are accustomed to doing a lot of review is that. Also cleave to dust. We're gonna think about what we got cheese in terimiche up this why we got to see what is going on here because you need to strike the what we doing because you ask at front dos as it tells us right here in Genesis chapter 2 and tracking it to part verse 7. It says in the spirit of God form man of the ground including breathed into his nostrils the breath of life and man become a living soul. I want you to think about that because we are formed from dust and we are formed from ashes. In fact let's move a little bit more we're going to move a little bit more down we're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse pick it to part verse 20. And we're going to say more so what is all blending and we cleave into what we cleave into because we cleave into chiste we cleave into two wrong thing but we're going to think what is out together and it says in verse 20 it says all going to one place all area of dust. In return to dust again everyone of us we're going to go on the ground. And return from which you were of people wrongfully having people cremated. Back to dust and ashes. This is what we want is to go back to the same thing we are gonna go back to the original. Form that we was in the original form that we was originally in because but our souls cleave into. This stuff that's what you asked trying to get you to understand we are you cleave into those ashes. You see yourself that is going right back to the form from which it originally was and we cleave to those things that is dust and as stats. What is trying to get you mentally to say in fact let's look at something We're going to put it all together. We're going to wrap this up in a nice little ball. A nice little ball for us. We're gonna go to Psas and we're gonna go to 103 to see what this is all about. Em 3 verse 14 Sudoeste Psalm 103 verse 14 It says for achando verit says for ignoeta fradigno. Afraid remember stat we are dust. Weekly habitudes stuff from birth weekly habitudes. We. I'm talking about you it's our own fault weekly habitudes Sudoeste tatsu est inter size. Mas sou clave tunto dust butius seit semicolon ante it size quem. Me quem do me according to thy word Sudoeste quem is telling you to revive your. Make you me live through thy word in the present state on what we need to be in. Let's look at this all together in Genesis chapter 2 verse 23 it makes everything perfectly clear for us and it's just start clearing everything up for daily everything needs to be cleared up for daily and it says Adonside is no bone of my bone. You going to be kicking lift your tongue we're going to work out is out because you're going to do some little everything you're going to say some parables upon but you're going to work then you're out because it's telling you once it is appened Adonside is no bone of my bone flesh of my flesh shall be called. Woman because she was the coach of man Sudoeste or bad disease of the art and it is bone. In all dos teus frontiases. We in the world are cleaving to this if you want to be connected it is telling you and making sure that you understand everything clearly to where you can get what is going on. You say you want to be kicking thy word you want to be connected in thy word Sudoeste you got to understand what your is and if you brought forth woman they show the on flesh with your mind your wishes to body of his wishes on what is Sudoeste all is all together all clear but you have to be just problem not saying what we need to say because we keep putting all confidence in flesh let me show you what is going on. I'm going to show you what is going on but most of us still going to have a problem because we cannot get our eyes out of our own why. We can't get our own why and understand what the scripture is telling you right in front of you in Revelation chapter 21 we're going to say something that is real clear in verse 2. It says a region once you didn't condemn flesh ishikami tudo ishikami tudo te condemner o condemn flesh rejecting it no. Okay but it says I saw to licit New Jerusalem coming down. From God out of heaven prepared a bridge adorned for her husbands only to be torn down real simply like. Nasty for us to get what is going on Sudoeste if you come down frontier and it was adorned for her husbands so it was decayed adorned don't mean nothing but declared as a covering which is was supposed to be covering us and it is covered was she can see her husband that's always sign got team but we sit triangle we want to make this big part of something that makes no sense. That makes no absolute sense to come down adorned so as it says to do you should know it was. Declarating it was a covering which was a word. We can't on white ortica me doll non that's only let me go on let me move forward let's look at something let's look at something we were going to go over here to you want to look at look and there going to look at chapter 17 we're going to move over here to verse 21. Verse 21 we got to jet 7 we got to jet tis in verse 21 it says later shall te salary antes isso at te site or to come down over a but it is amen and decide or loter and it says for the all for remember. The kingdom of God is with you. We in the world we looking in buildings because we like to cleave old bodies to dust. I'm telling we can't get on why we cannot get out on why. We didn't set their body can come down and body is your body of est can come down to rest you and. They want to cover watching and they can see the beauty of the world that is going through but they sit there if that covering they hate it sudwest since they hate it they're going to build up their own place in their own buildings their own things and they're going to achieve something else to where it is going to make it your to God to be at edge. Can't tell me they don't do it because they did it. You can't say they didn't do this because they did it. And not only did it we such in thing.
Let me.
Just thing we hate is people contradict their own lives so you wasn't in touch you wasn't there. You wasn't there you know I and you went in there along the ways not matter wasn't there let's look at it and. Ezequiel chapter 16 Pequim to part verse 25. Pequim to part 25 and it tells you this. Tells you this hitting 25 and we're gonna say this it says to us built tig place on very. E I of the way and has made it built was adorned that came down from heaven. Your saints know to be aboard that has a penny or fate to everyone. That passes by to multiplicate or their saints coming down. Adorned it you ask covered it your covering and on we're going into these your ears listening to some junk. Listen to stupidity. Because I sudwest have cleaved to but some of us don't kick me some of us don't say kicking me some more. Usa give me some memory. Some of us like to believe too. If anyone's sitting in the shoes they love to believe to anybody I don't care who you are my mom sitting in my destiny thing yes. What they cleave it dust and they love to believe too. They love it they can sit there tell you whatever they want to tell you but it is telling you clear as that your come down and your come down touches your covering that was adorned for a husband so the west that was your covenant what church in the kingdom of God is with you. But when you go into the places this thing is set up for you this place is set up for you there is on the people who want to sit there and to hold to what is there when you look at Malachimical we're gonna look at chapter 3 we're gonna pick it up in verse 9 and it says this and it makes it perfectly clear because it is reality. Honestatis interis asiatis praio as of the house of Jacob sudwest got these people on the of Jacob and prince Princes of the House of Israel that are born judigmente they hate judigmente because they sutinterite a shing his built to be a borreteling utis hit over in verse 25 it says in every ad of the white that made that built wishist word of God to be a borre that so these people are it side that a borre judigmente and perverted kititis isute are clearas te ute are because it want to cliave to tis dust andases. And it says table to the only blood temple to if a sinful if because they're going to tell you in Jerusalem or if in all types of facts of sin because they're making you cleave to dust and asses it says it tells us more it says t. Adds of Jude for rewards do STG ting pagan de ore decide mesmo agreement with on stat I have an agreement with that they're going to come out and they ain't going to charge anything because siding gonna give you pastors according to my art that will fed with knowledge and understanding but they such interesting no you need to pay me no you need to pay me. Ti priest of ti aforite ireden direito e se andite sais ti propete. Of definite for money and the first thing going to keep coming out ter mods are no coming out of your modus it teriet leo pond the leo ponte spirit of God and size not ti spirit of God among us and only you can come upon us as soon as people come upon they are going to. Sit teriante you in prayer and then as soon as you get ready to the dead going to say well to Lord on that you are butching right now. If she can come back shield into want it to telling you about Vasily about Vasily. Sudoeste tis isso you have to build tis isso you have to te abstain to all you say what the truth is. You want to be kicking in the ot not clear 20 dust delete. Chamiste dust and honorist spirit but let's look at it let's look at a little more let's diga little bit more in this because you need to understand this altogether sudoeste in John are going to look at chapter 17 John 17. And we're going to pick it to part verse 9 and it says pray for 10. I pray not for the world. I pray for 10 I pray not for the world I pray not for the world but for 10 that to. As vivem for the aretine. But it is better it says in homine aretine until of mine I am glorified in 10 and no I am no more. In the world but tese are in the world and come to you live at their keep ten trogion oetosion to as vivem. That they may be honest we are sudoestes laentes donit says evemorilia you sit with. Tem in the world kept ten to oetos that to as vivem I have kept. And none of them are lost but go that but. Tison of perdition tison of Satan that scriptures need to be fulfilled. Everyone of them that's why I sit there and can say what you can go to an issue on the face of his art and they can tell you whatever they want. To tell you it don't matter they sit in there and they over that you stay going to tell you ali because they're going to tell you God is in there and God already told you don't dwell in the temples made with hands it told you that and it's your Bíblia sudoeste when you're going in there you willfully sinning sudoeste then you willfully descended don't sit there think you're gonna stand before God no and say that you go well I didn't know is gonna sit there head that verse I'm in there a couple of times telling you I do until in building made within realidade versidio ever realidade ai read ok what do tat saio e do until in building made within ok so what de tat me do until on building made within ok sudoeste e o as interior e o side do unt forget do unt forsac te cylinder e sai ok o tell what do you gonna think about that will you overter and the like of fear you got an eternity to think of stupidity on top of stupidity. You go think about that no you want to sit there and say I am contradicting my word side don't to assemble yourself unto condemnation. What do they say you say you don't on building me within sudoeste you are in the building where it says it is got your name on it got your name on it. Telling you it's your own damn fault it's your own fault it's your own damn fault when you do that. Sudoeste it is so you go through this issue it says no equal to despair. In the world that permit have my joyful feeling in selves e aves vent and I urge it keep going back to the earth and looking to be king in the world. We looking to be covered with the earth but we cleave into dust as we cleave until the dust. Tell me almost common sense do that make it size the world of then. Because it are not of the world even as I am not of the world no it come down. As the world. So it says more going look at verse 26 it says I have declared my wise. I have declared my wise. Including tourism sudoeste no you call new sign you have declared your wise. We're going to put it to test we're going to say almost many of us that we didn't put it to test. Sudoeste we don't declare your wise sudoeste is interesting we sit there making a promise to God saying que came according to thy word that's what we hear saying and we're interesting da lei Lord da lei. I'm following in Lord the lay say that's what we doing but let's say how close it is going to get to are into ourselves. Because you ain't into God because God can know if you healing sudoeste I want to say something we're going to check something we're going to do a self-evaluation. Let's do a self-evaluation. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 12 picking it up in verse 1. It side note spirit of God that side to Abram. Jet the out of the country including front kinder and front father's house. Into a language I should show thee. What did ye pause because that is my question to you man of you guys have sat there. Sem falsa doctrine pushando o de non to false things pushando sat ter adventódio e o didn't sit there. Sentate eureandius sit interessaindo eu aigo na sit ter eu my mama ere sudoeste aigo na staere my dad here I am gonna staere my sister here I am gonna staere my brother here I am gonna staere my wife still here I gonna staere my husband too must staere jet the out of that country life from that kinder life from that father's house. Teoticame to apreuticame do onto Abraham bem obedient to the voice and God que canedin according to thee. Word not to follow the works of the flesh of his father or his mother sudoeste to ok his wife and fled into wilderness. You say otis hanengaru saying otis going it is not looking good for us it is showing us that we're not even. Paying attention to the Bíblia. Sudoeste fled as the word side butil inedo sei moreri gotitus sei a little bit moreri because tatis as I side were going to look at Revelations chapter 12. Let's go here to verse 12. Let's go to chapter 12 and look at something most of us gonna get it and some of us not but that's okay we're gonna break it all down and white size and she brought forth a man shield. She brought forth a man shield was to Julio Nation Swift if a rod of she was called. O ponto God to his throne so what is this saying because it begest problem all is what words me in the Bible. Because they don't know what words mean because you speak English is a flavor of England and we. Such guessing what words mean because he deteriorates is right in Hebrew drobe. Will sit there and say to me and walking of stuff and brought me to Beato give to bring forth that's all this and was to bring forth a man shield that so is sign with that you are on was. To whole what part are you missing what part you don't get what part will you be. Complicated what part you not understanding it says to whole all nations with a head. Offline and shield she was to be caught up to God in his. Throne and booty got some moderate size until my flame to children is no you say what is going on every watch. Went on if Abraham is silent you was in place preparei of God and they showed ter 203 corridas I will tell you something that's a parable Redletterian you now putting them together go figure it out. Because all the keys are eternal based on my teachings I've been doing to past copy of X go all the keys you have every you need to say what that was saying every you need to say exactly what that justified but it is telling you this. Sudoeste Asiato City Territis Roman fled into childerness with heroes band Abraham and Benchil asti feito learn to have this knowledge and told prayers are very leal point Lord to learn his laws and to ericant achos his laws and his statutes. Jetting from der Tioke to jetting from der Tioke from people jetting from der these doctrines of people learning teachings or not to be clean to and cleaving to this flesh in fact let's look at something let's look at something here let's look at something here we're going to get a little bit more let's go over here to Matthew we're going to go to Matthew look at some of you are shouting that he was talking about in Matthew chapter 11 picking up verse 29. Matthew chapter 11 verse 29 and ergona cititeriano ergona say what is sign great here it says stack my yoke. O ponho tack my yoke o ponho. And no me tack my yoke o ponho and learning me. Size for I am making on a linear and we shall finish your soul. But it is also clear vindo das sudoeste you que yourselves swift spirit. We can find este but we cleave to dust we got a problem. But the same thing where we got caught up was it there saying we believe and we want to all to the Bíblia it is telling you hit there. Are sudoeste cleave to dust but we side no que usou Lord in thy word had declared my one sudoeste is there saying okay if you don't declare your right taking your yoke upon me. And you're learning me and learning me. So it is the same as man you vazare carnal tinker so if a gente lemine vem as pospoke but if Yulet teortic que os spirites and purifior arts and urmins you sit ter I promise you sit ter you send summon your why. Tudus actrioatine et bidone. In fact letis lucatis famotis tistis lucatis somotis verigona go to acts and verigona jetis omissum more information verigona go to acts verigona pick chupa chapter 15 and verigoing to drop down to verse 8. It size igual do ichno et art bear tem utines de vintentil ligos servem. Azidintus teleng eu arte vem asiade dito Abraão tu Isacanto Jacobite. Semidito de other people in the body of his still if Moses the same as dito people if people were walking around with you are shot the same if the people walking around with Peter do the same thing for things did for thing do it for you. Because it knows your heart sudoeste if you really want that and you don't. Declare that why or don't declare your why. And evidence ling vem putin so memory site o asmite ashmit status. Mitis what we vidonianto teu utis and let's look at verse let's go down a little bit more in verse 9 verse 96. And put no difference between as in tempurifying interartes bifights do est e do no different treatment eta. Between as and purifying interfight walls todos the same why because I have declared my why in my. Why gonna be with you sudoeste field it is already have cleaveto tese dust and as estelingus no we ain't doing this because I am no I mind delete. No I'm gonna put it is flesh to shame impotintis flesh to shame impotintis flesh to shame. And I am gonna give honor to God what do you are you talking about dalit what do you say dalia impotintis tis flesh to shame I don't have time for it I don't have time to play with flesh. Time is of the essence and you don't have time to play with flesh and it says tis even verse 10 it says no for that reason we tempting God sudoeste let is not tempt God and play this game because you already declare your why on you already decide kicks in that word. We already decide that side is all the cleveland dust and as sudoeste Lord it to get a hero fault is to find what you want to do is follow you. That is not teaching God and decides put I okay o feio ponte in the disciples switch interior. Fathers nor we are able to be are series C. Sudoeste learning chilaus is not putting the fleshly o que supõe a I'm gonna cite that again learning chilaus with God is not putting the fleshly o que supõe a I'm saying what tem all vence terili for fathers and what people do tem putes in bearable que supõe plitat, take all gente bear and art lear no his promises and promise God as domi say God side testing we want to make. Shall we clear on tis on the way trog I'm going to show you something God side what you made shall find what you are to do zone people we side a little side aliando your prayer in the line putting your flesh to shame and sitting saying in God I'm a put you in honor putting you in honor that's what you're doing sudoeste you. Look at these psas in chapter 8 psas chapter 8 and picking up in verse 17. It says Jesus says I love that love me the same as I promised me you promised me that you're going to you didn't declare your was and you promised you're going to follow that why I'm going to promise you you're gonna be a peculiar treasure to me above all people because your heart belongs to me blessings gonna even overtake you. Tiwai you can get no for every time you retreat from a blessing to blessings gonna come around corner and lapidade. Because you are gonna be established smiley people and all the people of the area are gonna be called my name Israel. Israel you think about that you gonna sit there and you sit in territory under Tibet tried from I just got so many blessings I need and you gonna come up under Tibet and lap your guy with so many blessings. If you truly your heart you sat there and you didn't remove yourself from dust and asses and you outside can me according to outside can me according to thy word and you didn't declare your why and you going that why and you are going to learn the status of what talk about going to be slapping with blessings and just slapping with more blessings. But you have to be doing something or you have to be doing something or because you got to get rid of the flesh. Get rid of the flesh say what happens when we get down to verse 27 because stealing as breaking this down size make me understand that I Lord don't care what it takes any means necessary I need you to make me to understand I of the precepts Lord don't care what it takes do what you got it should do what you do Lord don't care what you get me. Hate Lord you do it to make me read. My prayer is I have declared so I am going Lord if you got to kill me but I need you to make me understand. Your precepts if I don't get them put somebody in front of me Lord where I can get it somebody ain't boasting about themselves and they boasting about you on what I need to be doing to get it to make me understand it Lord. Make me understand why of the precepts. I don't care what it takes any means necessary you making me understand it I need to know it. I am not clever no more than flesh Lord I'm done if I'm done with that Lord I'm done with it I'm done with that I need to be careful your word. I didn't declare it I thought I'm going and I ain't changing mustang I'm not moving to you dash. Meu precepts. You cannot lie and say anything ask your name you will do and need to know your precepts not so the rest I am not moving. E says memory sudoeste shall talk of under works e matalk to under works of this. Sudoeste no y'all gonna say some under what's on and notice telling you is where you no can't nothing good to because that people say uma immediate que lhe doing that same entidade is gonna defy de gain it meet let to live if I live gain. Are you with me let's look at it I'm telling you ye promised me siding on a promise you something you ain't gonna be able to do for no blessing get rid of the flesh and what me pull you off some blessings you can't and I'm gonna put some blessings on you gonna work boy get rid of the flesh and let me show you how I work let's look at this. Luke chapter 10. We're going to look at this verse 19. What is what we plan to dizer Luke 10:19. Da lei just keeping in da lei. Verse 19 says remember you want to know my precepts remember this I give you power to tread serpents on. Serpents and scorpions over powers of enemies but don't play with me is what I don't play with me. Get rid of the flesh stop living in the flesh and talking about you don't declare it this why. Boy I got something for you boy you won't have power to do these things and nothing shall be on means virtue. Boy. Giro hit don't play with me it's what don't play with me go my why you want me. I got to continue body what tente on this work is I'm going to do you're going to make it blind I'm going to make you going to be able to make it lam you all content out se casto trailing a parte o just trip just trading pontes e serpentes. I want you to think about something I want you to truly think about it is don't never forget it is on anything with you sit there and the same way you say silhouette pictures and if you walk into a church you're going to a church and you sit there you get that interest and you're gonna get some water you're gonna get some water and then you gotta come back next week and get some more water because that water's gonna boot then you get some more water and you water gonna say but to water that is very is a little different ball game of water. Say to water you getting area you ain't gonna have to test for that same water again because that water you do your proper to destroy those precepts you ain't testing that for that no more because guess what you just has been can shed you just has been satisfied you just you don't need to test for that same thing no more when that question is answered that you ain't got to test for that no more that just taking care of the test that you get serious no way. O unsatisfied gonna quest that test to where you ain't got to go through that test again. Say testes based on it no one what they do they want to do on it no basis based what they no and they're going to sit there and so you got to come back every week and you keep doing bottle water you keep doing bottle water just keep doing bottle water and then somebody Salmo where you get that water man come it come jet this water next thing drink to water next week estes bio means necessary you need to learn precepts of God. You're saying out your mouth holding on to cheese in fact they even got more to it say what we got to remember is cheese what we got to remember is cheese I'm going to show you something I am going to show you something what we got to remember we're going to go to Psalms chapter 119 Psalm 119 and we're gonna pick it to part 104. São 119.104 because it says something that is really clear to help us out. Say it is isso e eu ain't gonna test no more sudoeste as we mosering down it says and through that precepts in which we're learning according to this precept and through that precept I get understanding sudoeste therefore I'm not test no more. Therefore I ain't test no more therefore I hate very false I because every time I was drinking over there every week I get back to stand I got a go get some of the same water that I was drinking last week and I am still thirsty this week but no I didn't drink this water and guess what I ain't thirsty for that no more because I got to water that in a day I am calls the west if I tried for something else I just come and just get some more water for that I get some more water for that say it is what goes on. Say and all these things that's happening actually when you go back you're going will say something let's go back down to Psalms 119 verse 18. Let's look at it is a little bit more detail in 18 it says open be my eyes open be my understanding. That I may be all understand out of it till I got it structured now I. To where you see do this you can sit there you go run upon a bowling some people sit there if it is my bowling no you got some. People completely blind front your to bowling zabat. But when you open Psywan understanding which actually makes them able to see you have somebody that is lame and cannot walk. You open their understanding they stand up and they can outside Psywan that is we can't talking about the sick bad butch. They sick and they sit there you just think you or all of us then they're not sick no more. Seiti Bíblia Teourite Hiris Clarity Size Opente My Understanding Touch I May Be Out Ondros I Touch I May Remember Ondros Things Out of Touch Lossei Because It's Telling You All Together On What We Need to Be Doing And We Teourite Hearing Verse 4 The Same Place To As Commanded to Keep Touch Press To Be Diligently On Desired Things Want To Learn We Declare Your Was and Saber Going to go to eye of the Lord Sudoeste if we don't declare it so I only need to make sure that we are following the Lord to his maximum ability to what we can do. We ain't cleaving to his flesh no more we already decide my soul cleave it to the steam but I ain't doing that no more quacking me in that word. I didn't declare my one Lord I ain't changing do what you got it to do with me do what you got it to do with me Lord whatever you got it to do it is still I only need to be Jesus. Oh you need to be looking at everything let's look at this let's look at something let's look at verse 28 My soul waited for out heaviness. I'm telling you my soul from being shushed to shushed my soul no is melting for heaviness then lie more burden because you all. Heaviness means is burden so we need to build this shush need $5.4 million so we need to get to start dropping some dollars. Bernies on top of burdens on top of burdens telling you to build this classical the search of God and the first thing that they want to do the church of God. First thing they're going to say God needs this house built first thing is it there and where God was money at tell God to put up some money on to be a pay build it but you need to put up to mine because the God side it there is siding. H chapter 2 verse 8 side for the God is his and silver side to Lord Sudoeste side I go to manual to Sudoeste why am I putting my fail dollars why I am gonna put my fail dollars into build this shushi anti people to come to into coming to me Sudoeste you want me to put up my money actually go jet God on the line jet online let me talk to I need to talk to God you say silliness on otis goes. We only need to have this for towards God side out cattle upon a thousand hills belong to in let's go to his house and jet one of. Tem cost let's go to his house and jet aguate let's go ter jet achet. E side istos viari riso do oeste teari side tem blonto in side in fact if. Was grio de então o sudoeste e telling me to jet somebody for somebody else sudoeste if you want just to supply these people don't you think should supply them to food so tell me where God stay at and let me go get it. But what they want to do is put these burdens on you they're going to keep putting these burdens upon you this is what they do. It tells you right here it's telling you right here in 28 my soul waited for heaviness my soul waited for heaviness. Let's look at something I want to show you something that we look at all together we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 58 Isaiah chapter 58 we're going to look at something 58 and verse 6. It says this and it makes it clear it says is not just fast that I have chosen Lord is this what signed for Lord is this what signed for it says to lose it bands of the wickedness to tune to heaviness Lord that's what I was signing up for. And to let your precede go free and that break every Lord ain't that wait a minute look can I talk. To you Lord look can I talk to you for a second thought I was out of this boat. I went from I didn't have to pay that much but no I went over here to this building and know you talking about. You trying to build a church cost $25 million and they want me to to dedicate and make sure that I make a pledge of paying at least $300 a month for the next 5 years Lord told that I was done with that. Emai bem rawinked seites ti questions tachou bies que tentei tal cabot tene atiliaste 50 que tu feet other people in the shush injustice your war ot beastes belong to you. Can't you supply a boat to cause every. Se you got a question things for yourself to say o tisirines goes on in the shush things status say that tale. Tell you it is not wickedness and that's pure wickedness it is telling you Redletter and the verse itself it says right here it is not it is fast that I have chosen Sudoeste when chosen to go into these places have not it is isso what you chosen to lose it bands or wickedness but going into more wickedness. They want to look at your W2S let me say o mushi mak let me see you mak pretty good money Sudoeste you look for you really look for you to give it is amount of money very equal if you want to it a shake very amount. You don't click that with wicked to wicked what they didn't change to notice it there and they'll put. Donations if you appreciate what you are donate something give something donate they don't they want to say you. Just say that donation but donate something. Anti-burdens is actually oppression. Say they gonna tell you to buy all this stuff do all these things and they're not gonna do nothing actually I'm gonna show you this because. They don't do nothing and you that is my pastor and that is my power that is my pastor Sudoeste in number I mean Matthew chapter 23 verse 4 it says for tabling heavy burdens in grevels to be buried and lighting all men's shoulders tell and on you but cheese is what it Lord tell me they don't do this thing you want. Jet like every burden people I like bringing the shoes they like lying every burden well I just not meet Lord Jesus what. Lord wants will get the Lord on the own actually calling on my cell phone. Give me his number I need to talk to in cause this tinker it was a lady she gave her last dollar and God ain't saying nothing Sudoeste I'm no I don't know if I am being rank Doris God I hope. Inside the line have burdens upon you and inside but they themselves let's look at it it is telling you right here. For the life for table heavy burdens and grevels to boy and lighting on his shoulder but they themselves. Will not move them with one of their fingers they ain't moving nothing. Havia verse prayer teve vender giving mine for the pressure in the dam pressure up there waiting to shake himself gonna put it on and saying boy look at him whipping his money just drop it on top of stupidity jetting money back. We can't get on why. Tese xuxes bindingo tese grevos tins upon o lifting te finger tudo nothing. In fact got a pressure I know I ain't going to bring his name up but my wife she don't know what I'm talking about because she's going to say well I knew you're going but I'm going to tell you what did exert needed a new roof they needed a new roof and they wanted to has mine to build is to put it roof on the shoes. It legit don't it don't worry wanted to having do pet you don't want to spend money so you just having do pet your contact on roof made the same people pay for the roof for his shoes for his house. And his house the man wanted integrant to put the roof on his house he didn't charge didn't fuse didn't. Try to include on his just man pay. You tell me te sai te say is God you go to God house that they say it is start you antanikel and Jimmy his. House antanikel and diamond you tell me te sai God say because they say his house is God's house say no you can telling. Because te justice pressure for 30 mil and estum singahof to tis die te estum singahof. Sudoeste is God to ten say teu te don't worship in tats telling you hit teritatis unten worship because te maquinchare set shup. Sei tesiare titingstun eriu sei once you conchute resurrection and sei erit resurrection eriu resare bengo peno you can be blinded but no you can see was lying but no you can walk in eri second you as a vende but once you come to the truth no you have the power to say and you can walk clearly you no longer lame you no longer need assistance you no longer can walk no you can walk on your not the afino needing no dito dos sign language to you say sudoeste when you sit teriand you reat scriptures and you find something that is bem found in teriand you sit teriand I want to tell you what I can't reat is I don't understand is I don't know what is going on and you come shoot really actual truth and saying wrong tell you what I truly don't understand scriptures I truly don't understand and so what does he set it up. Ensaios immunagive pastors according to my art that will fade with knowledge and understanding is what I'm gonna do. I set it up beautifully and actually I'm going to show you an example of this I want to say I want to show you an example of this I want to make sure we get it all together we're going to look at Acts and we're going to look at chapter 8 Acts 8 and we're gonna drop down to verse 30. We're going to say an example of this I want to show you this duest where you can say something to say is what we want to do when choosing to go a certain way we want to make sure that we hold on to it and what we're going to say is actually let me go up a little bit just duest we can get it size let me go up to 27. Okay we're going to go down to verse 30 but let's go to 27. It says and arosiand they went and remember a men of Ethiopia unushan no chamen was castrated. It mean chef that is all that mean but people that is homosexual that is a man that's castrated that is a lie. That's a chef that's a leader that is why I said unusha great authority under candacity kun of the Ethiopian white charge. People going to lie to you but what goes on more size and what treasure and the come to Jerusalem for your sea was returning and sitting on his chariot had least prophet but what happened spirit side to Philip spirit side to Philip go near and join myself to Chehi I want you to go to touch at Chehi and sit there because it is doing something you don't know what is doing but it is gonna be honest and not to be to tell him what is going on what happened in verse 30 says Philip hunt tertuin and head to prophet Elias and understand what to head is side I know way my brother David do you understand what you're heading do you truly understand what you're heading do you get it say what we have a lot of people sit there telo sit there do me I understand it but they want to play defense want sit there and I understand what to head and you get that is what you meant no you really you didn't understand it the first time but you want to sit there you always want to when you're never wrong and you always want to sit there act like you're head you want to play defense whole you're on defense and you want to sit there and act like you know and you didn't know like you know and you didn't know asking do you know what you're heading. And saiba can I accept so me man showed you give me and desire Philip that you all de come up. Antes de fim. E desire Philip to come up because do you know what you had say money people don't know what they had they don't know parables they don't know the dark sentences nothing but tell you they don't. Andio justiçat teriandio saitatio didente declari uruai andio setin terio tencle avetidusti andios tios tain dedust. Andiur sou gonaoles bimeute forevineso esbecausi ourisetin teri trintum destante uais ove precepts andio do antigiati, letis lucatia lito bit morerit sais remove from mito uai ofling remove from mit uai ofling zakitli tipo intiling, ling. Uantitulium veriting remove from miling infact letis lucati oleting andigrante mitilo. Gracious leu cansamba de dutati and want to sit triangle want to it tells you let's blitz. Look at some meetings all together. I want to show you some meetings what goes on in today's stream. EA 2021 ergona look at second motivo ergona go to chapter 3 ergona piquito pati versitu. We're gonna pick it apart verse 2 because I want you to say something. I wanna show you something that is clarity says for men shall be lover of their own selves. Telling you tiscovetos boasters proud blasphemer disobedience to parents unthankful litis is what they do. Boasters of themselves you say some of them bestimental citizens I've been teaching the Bíblia for 20 years or 30 years also you've been done before that long. Well I've been preaching for this long okay and what how long you been preaching doesn't matter. Oh I've been preaching for 50 years also you've been done before 15 years. I had a man you wanted me to join forces with and instilled and actually go check doing it site that somebody's going to tell him what's wrong and the been teaching long as I've been alive okay and what you're still wrong you didn't change it to know it was wrong because you called and refuel it. Say and the same thing blasters proud blasphemer disobedient to parents unthankful only. 100% tat butigetes beterites sais suitot natural affliction trut breakers false accusers incontention. Areusiris incontention gut false alter right now doing the same thing doesn't mean lacking self-control te have senseless behavior. You have one do de sudoeste ignorante of something inside no idonigona exposit Hebreus doctrinitate em Stevenson anguna suppositat cerebliast doctor Hebraíns do antivem ave doctorits a profession. Senseless behavior lacking self-control stupidity on top of stupidity say bang despisers of those you are good at telling you already despisers of those you are good at telling you even more traitors igavigmin the lovers of pleasures. And more lovers of what it is what they do. Is what they do and it tells you even more in verses 5 having a form of godliness want to come like their all clean. Chiotis debut dealing the power thereof from susturnal I but a lot of us well no I liking. Liking I like him and I'm gonna listen to him and I liking is all hate with my book it's something I don't agree with really. Where you go say and it says more right here in first Timothy was in second but where you going. To go to first because he is proud knowing nothing knowing. Nothing in boaster of himself is proud but doubting about questions and trivial words will come if investrife. Rallies evil submersion perverse disputing of corrupting and destitute Donald they can't even find. The truth if they were looking for it. And going to place heavy burdens upon you and you talk about remove from meaning removing meaning will going to remove from that from you and you inheriting was institute of truth supposing in is godliness. From such throughout self and the first thing you want to do is stay with in from such throughout that self and you want to stay with then say the same things when you substitute of the truth when at the same words interesting the truth coming to then hit in front and you can say what happened with Moses when you had Janice and Jamburus when they said that when the truth come actually you want. Tell you what actually that's so let's look I'm gonna show you something let me move this let me show you something actually I can do it because it is over here we're going to look at verse 8. I'm going to show you something I'm going to show you something show you just open up let me say. Okay, let's look at this in 15 Timothy chapter 3 verse 8 it says Noah Janice and Jamborus. Whistler of Moses is telling about a story that happened when Moses and came with the snake and they decide that they put it hard on actually let me pull it up because I am gonna show you so you want to sit there trying to pull something over on you because it is the same to so what you say they want to show you things on what happened show them to you where you annoyed from area out so it is telling which size when para os pack to tem saindo a miracle for eu tento shall santo aron tak te roda and cast it before para onde it shall become a serpente tis isso what tis isso what tis conversation is over irritatis what tis conversation is about over isso do est tis so it become certain Moses and Aaron went to para one side to in command it had commanded Aaron cast on te rod before para one before the servant and become a serpente tem para o caled isso is meu quase in the sorcerers no. In the magicians of the Egypt and they did in like manner inter enchantment no you say what. Upon what it is for they cast on every man his rod and it became a serpent but Aaron rod swallowed Peter. Rod succeio essa inte swallowed Peter rod that's what it is talking about over isso do est you are going to say what happened on what you went down we need to say what is going on what you went down so it says no Janice and Jamburus so it has to withstood Moses do est do tese also resist the truth because they brought the truth to them but they didn't want to hold on to it because even the names itself it showing you they are because Janice is full of prejudice and to be oppressing you go Mestre oppressor and basically state to the sea of poverty to the people of poverty so which is going to lie heavy burdens upon based on what do est the corrupting everything that they do so it tells you tis in verse 9 it says but they shall proceed no further folly shall be made known to all ministerial sudoeste. It's telling no matter what everybody going to say or sincerely you are and big of you are because it minding as it goes right back to is. Go back to actually let's look at it all together we want to look at it is all together and say it is all together let's go back to precise we're going to go back to precise and get it is all together precise 119 and we're going to go to 104. Because I want you to say it is I'm going to make sure God put it face it says and all the precepts I get understanding for that reason I hate very false ones do est make me understand my precepts that I may talk that wonders works do est you want to be granted as jeans and hating very false why it's not complex and when you do Jesus decide you want to do his own work is going to sit there and going to justify on you. In fact let's look at it all together we're going to go back to access we're going to look at 33. X is 33 and we're going to look at something X is 33 and we're going to pick it to part 19. X is 33 and 19. E size tis. It size and decide you make oh my God in espace before the and I will proclaim to eyes of the Lord Spirit of God before the I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious I will show mercy to whom I will show mercy you. Light down upon you gonna light these things down upon word with me on tis you say. What is going on and then all this interim gonna show you grace and mercy and do all these things upon you for you Sudoeste when you say it is you understand what is going on and you say right here in verse 30 it tells you the same thing because it's telling you remove from me that while offering and grant me that with grace graciously and decide must show it to you if you truly want it your heart I'm gonna show it to you don't worry about it and don't start showing it to you Timori be with me Timori on you. Verse 36 I have chosen to I of truth you've chosen to I of truth Sudoeste if you've chosen to I of truth and you need to draw to God. You have to draw to God it is telling you all the way through what you need to do Sudoeste when you look at Sirach chapter 51 it makes it clear. It makes it clear for us in 51 verse 23 what it says what it says it is real clear. It says draw near unto me and learn well in the house of learning well. Unto me unto the house of learning say because if a man sitting and knowing is not knowing what it should. Learn is learned can sit with someone who is learned and can in the house and no can take the yoke of list and can learn nothing. Say it is as very going back and repeating some of the same things till I just know what you are saying from the beginning and been saying till time and I was sat there and tried to think about something else and not saying what we supposed to be saying trying to hold and to flesh trying to clear the flesh and need to remove the flesh and we're not removing the flesh. So it is the same thing in Matthew chapter 11:29 it says again take my yoke upon learning me teach me the precepts teach-me statues. Teach-me tes things Sudoeste once you learn this we can't stop cleaving to this flesh and we're going to blot out everything according to the flesh everything according to the flesh no everything according to the flesh is no going to get blotted out because we're not doing in works of the flesh so it can't do nothing to us that's why I say whatever it takes to it God I want you to make sure I'm good Sudoeste if we take it and we blot those things out I'm gonna show you all you got to do is blot thing out block this stuff out and we can get rid of this stuff we can get rid of all these works of the flesh in Colossians chapter 2 speak it to part verse 14. It says it makes it clear it says blotting out it everything of ordinances that he was against us wishes things according to the flesh because they're cleaving to dust but we side came in thy word so Sudoeste we wanted to get out a written ordinances that is against the flesh we don't want to be clicked in flesh because the flesh got problems and it says which was contrary to us say because it's Sudoeste contrary to me I don't know if it is contrary to you but it is Sudoeste contrary to me and if it is contrary we got to take it is out to I language to this cross and with that cross it is telling you something the same thing again with you celestial was telling you nothing until it is suffering unto his death that is all. A sign which is nothing complex Sudoeste if you are going to sit there we got to you that to the cross and very morning we get you we got to make sure we kill that we're going to look at it we're going to look at it we're going to look at it all together in Luke chapter 9 and picking with part verse 23 making chat is perfectly clear for us and very one of us to understand it size and decide to you if anyone you come after me letting them himself and take up his cross
daily.
Dele fani mangona come after in letting take up his cross dele. And follow me. And follow me is making to Sudoeste clear to area can't get around it making with Sudoeste clear we need to make. Shall we understand what's saying all together Sudoeste we had following and pick it up say everybody side that. Well I'm covering the table of Jesus okay telling you out his own modo have to deny yourself you have to, denitate flesh you have to denitate and pick up your cross you are suffering unto the and you following. But a lot of us don't want to do that so a lot of us not going to make it because we putting everything on everybody else. Let's look at this in first chapter 3 pick to part verse 19 and we're gonna make some more stuff real clarity size and we're being note that we are of the truth including our surreal arts before in. We're going to surete you can do this say we're going to show you a couple of things to wish you make sure you keep your pocket to keep this jeans in your pocket and you'll be all the time but you got to make sure you following in John chapter 17 picking up at verse 17 it says this we're going to look at this real good and we're going to say it says sanctify through truth so that you got to be sanctified through your it says for thy word true thy word not sitting there talking about you and a man sitting there using one verse and then proceed to tell you anything we want to tell you from that point that is not true that is interesting you philosophy. And then something what you want to say of today is then look at it is forsake not assembling of yourselves. All a man hope God because it is driving with what says getting ready to tell you want so me mine don't forsake some size make sure you come back next week. Sanctifying in truth and you make sure you understand that say because you cannot your history. Because it is proven it is time again in Psalm 119 again we're going to go. Here again in Psalm 119 we're going to look at 142. See what it says there is some already notice be art. It says to hate os neses an everlasting hate os nes in lois the truth. That lois the truth and bring with the same things do est when you say anything when you look at if 16. And you go to John 16 and you look at verse 13 it's going to tell you the same identical thing what happens there in 13 it says obey when it spirit of truth is come you guide you to all truth when. Spirit of truth come you guide you to all truth. You guide you to all truths do est you notice and no it is all clear so do est when you look at it into first chapter 3 verse 20 it says for in all the arts condemnus do est you need to condemntis dust you need to condemntis flesh ter arts and no things always remember that and don't forget it that is why I said you got to keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket. And says beloved for the arts condemnus not. Tenhave confidência. Towards God that's a serious statement there say the truth is to guide you so it as in English it says for the arts. Condemnus according to flesh you have confidence towards God so do est you can't have confidence in the flesh alone. So do est you are looking at it in its fullness understanding what is going on so do est as it is science in this last feeling no stat requirement so it no what that requirement is because it's telling you right here it says avis to consult testimonies of spirit of God put me not to shame don't put shoes to sit and don't put my soul to shame it flesh I am already putting to shame the lay Lord I'm putting my flesh to slime but I am not putting you on or to shame it at this point do est week no need to. Do tis and we can need to be done so do est when say it is all together we know what we have done inside is all together in the same thing but we're going to say actually in week no Exodus chapter 19. We went verse 8 it says and what Philippians were together and said all that the Lord has spoken you do. Altate tilor as pouquinho do sudoeste e que notis angueri gointo alto tats. O otil e gotito alto do anticite terian lete no podi change e frontes do antilete no podi cite terian bulbo anti-ori or anti-fron anetin sei becausitis teling otis anditis maquin chartatio kno efeu kno guadandi ori gona cite terian sai remember godis mais salvation and kno tati andi ori noti gona change na fingi o antinto change e o tio ai o camp no his precepts and o gotialot of peopli into teu e o tecno precepts and de actualido anticnoian de saibem outros te and not be afraid for the Lord Jehovah is my strength in my song e ao sube come my salvation tati word sudoeste e aviti fredon to do what you need to do and it come to freus from all things but you have to be doing something for him we have to be doing something for him say let's look at it all together let's look at it all together and understand what is actually working. Alt forus we're going to go to Hebreus chapter 10. We're going to look at verse 7. It says inside remove and just say whatever name and you put a name inside we come. In the volume of the book it is written to me whatever you scientist book it is written to you. To do to you God that's what you got to make sure whatever it takes from the beginning. Daily whatever it takes daily you get a rib of this flesh and you sit there no Lord I need you Lord don't. Carry what you do make me understand these precepts make me get it to go to somebody who know it. Put it in I need to know it Lord. Sudoeste em o city teriande o cansaitate o cocho do dão e o vodio e o knot status claras da sou o LLC e some part stat de saintate peopleus incorrectly so many times well sates in Matthew chapter 5 and pictis up Matthew 5 and verse 17. It's going to tell you something we're going to say all together 5:17 to tell you it says not tati come to destroy te lo say don't ever think tati te or te come to destroy te lo didn't come or gonna come destroy te lo and it was spoken be God think about that or you think gonna destroy something that was spoken be God or te prophets te mots of God or do you think gonna come do that or do you think te or gonna come do not destroy what is sight that you all making a blasphemer that will making a hypocrite. Isai come not to destroy but to fulfill and that's what we got to make sure we do sudoeste we're going to do these things we make sure we do them correctly that in fact let's look at something we're going to look at Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12 and it's telling us it's really clear we look at it and it's telling you what is required of you and inside that make me understand what is going on sudoeste you make me side no Israel what do the spirit of God required to make me understand God need to understand what I need to do is but to desire the spirit of God to walking on his ways and promising and to serve the spirit of God without at and out soul light sudoeste if that soul that was clicked. To te do still want me to click down to te see attach what I want you to do okay sudoeste I need to sit there. And just the volume of the book that's what I want you to do. That is what I want you to do in fact let's look at something We're going to look at Leviticus chapter 19 verse 18. Something else that is required of us that we just no need to make sure we're doing it says to shout not avenge nor bear any grudge against children of the people but to shout love shall promise it neighbor as self and spirit of God sudoeste we can we got to do that also but we got to still remember what we are we still have to remember exactly what we are because it never changes because until we are completely separated from this flesh. We is fit and we need to be fit for the earth so we got to stand fast on what you believe. Em Gênesis chapter 18 picking up in verse 27 it says max beter foros it says in Abraham suertat says remember no I am habitai upon mitos preacontutis creator. But what te what isso ishemi but dust andases. Talis all is nothing more than dust and as is even coming from my father. Abraham sudoeste e habituí e going to sit triangle want to be hit also it into citias estinter 50 Titeos in the city tatis dust and ashes where destroyed city. Because spelling right here in verse 32 is making chatis is clear size I will hint you of the commandments 20. Shall enlarge my art because we are nothing but dust and ashes dali. Dali we sudoeste ergora jet riboftat and do things together sudoeste opefulitat irgis got som. Understanding fronts and that as we continue but we going to go in the back no in the classroom and we going to look at some other scriptures that we are working with just the other day sudoeste we going to go through those and then I do know we have a couple of people supposed to be signing up for this for the show sudoeste we be looking forward for you in the back to where we can get your information but if you sit in there and maybe picking this up to make sure that you completely get what is going on and let us what it is the let telling you exactly what it is doing. Is nothing complex but they have let you on what it is they tell you it is tent or they tell you walking of stuff to or they tell you walking of stuff and not telling you what it actually is what it means is it's the important to what you learn there. Because they're going to give you words that is not that don't mean anything else but what it is because that they are just ignorant so you have to commit yourself to the humble you have to humble your flesh so you can be quickened by the word of God. It's the only focus of everything sudoeste if you look down in the description you can say where you can go over into this one area. If you look in the description area you can see there and say that there and you say where you can click size joint live meeting and where you going to be going through some of this stuff that we went through the other day sudoeste if that you can hopefully will be picking up with Hebrews on tomorrow only. And hopefully this can join with that and as when we go to Wednesday we will be doing Proverbs. Sudoeste opefulitat gesu continue but until tem. I say to achando very person sudoeste until next time I say to achando very on shalom. Sudoeste. Sudoeste. Sudoeste.